Welcome back for another S&B Futures video here on January 17th. Let's dive right in. We'll be covering crude oil and a little bit of S&P as well. All right, so as we like to do, let's start with our hypos posted 9 a.m. this morning for crude oil. So yesterday we had talked about how we thought that the overnight highs would be kind of a medium-term swing high, and we'd see quite a large rotation down from there. That didn't turn out to be true yesterday, but overnight last night, after kind of drifting yesterday, we do get that strong down move as we head into the open. So hypo 1, which was happening as I typed this out, is a hold underneath our line in the sand for the day of 5170s. So let's highlight 5170s. And that is a bearish line in the sand for a move down to 5020s, which is quite a ways lower, right into here, which we did not get. Hypo 2, if we can hold above 5190s, that's going to open up long opportunities with targets into 5260s. So 5190s, which is a bullish level, and our target of 5260s. There we go. So what did we see? Gap down situation, that overnight selling, as you can see. So this was a good place to get involved short, I thought. Give our hypo 1 a go. We're clearly holding below the level. We pull back. Yes, there's probably more buying on the tape than we'd like to see, but this is an A+ type of trade here, and so we're gonna hold our nose a bit and take the plunge. Turns out we got no follow through on that, and it became kind of clear that we were kind of starting to build up into this upper level right here, 5178, where you see the release and the retest and whatnot. So that's either a scratch or a stop out, depending on how you manage it there. From that point, there's nothing for us to do. Keep in mind, we're bearish below here or bullish above here. So nothing for us to do here. No hold beyond the level, no hold beyond the level. Back down. Given the wide-ranging nature here of the market, we talked about this a little later, where the rhythm is really kind of a slow trend, wide-ranging environment. We see a lot of 50+ cent rotations in this market today, which is kind of atypical. Usually you see a little smaller rotations within the current volatility. So based on the rhythm of the rotations and whatnot and the extension here, I didn't love looking for a short there, but if you're a student and you did go for a short here because we kind of held below the level, I think it's acceptable, but I think it's marginal. Beyond that, now we clearly hold below the level. Market's really trying to get imbalance down. Beautiful spot to go for it there. Once this move happened, I posted in the chat how we're back to stalking hypo 1. I did make one other comment that I meant to talk about, was that I didn't really have any interest in trading from these areas, but we did indeed reject our prior value area, which we have highlighted right here. So A period opens a little lower, B period, boom, rejects, C period retests and holds that prior value, and we start heading down. So based on that, based on the fact that it's my hypo 1, my main line in the sand, we're not seeing the kind of selling that we'd like to see again, but we go for the trade. This time we get a nice rotation in our favor. And we posted in the chat. Where is it? Okay, the idea here is to now have scaled some into the new low of day and sit back to see if we can get lucky. That may sound silly, but get lucky. But the get lucky mentality is a powerful one. What in the world do I mean by that? It sounds silly, a pro trader, my goodness, no, they don't get lucky. They're just that good, right? No, it's absolutely fine to, in fact, it's preferred, in my opinion, to use all your toolkit, your prep, your hypos, key levels, being in tune with the order flow, what's going on, and then timing the rotation, taking partial profits, all these things. But then I really like to take a mental shift when it comes time to going for the bigger target, when the situation calls for it, that is, allowing a core position to really work for the full hypo to play out. It's at that time where I've really done all I can do. My eyes have studied, my reaction times have been there to allow me to pull the trigger to do the things I needed to do. And now I don't really know if the trade's going to work out or not. It's not within my control. So I'm not going to just sit forward in my chair with an aggressive posture and watch every tick, every bid, every offer lifted. Not going to happen, guys. I'm going to sit back with the mentality of maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. It'll essentially be a gift from the market if this does play out according to our hypo. But we've done everything we could to put ourselves in that position. And now it's time to let go a little bit. Hey, let's see if we can get lucky here. We've done our job. So from that perspective, I think it's a very powerful mentality. If you just start throwing darts at a dartboard trying to get lucky trading in general, that's obviously not advisable. So anyways, yet again, it fails to hold below here, fails to remain in balance, fails to really attract sellers even as we are pressing fresh lows for the day. And so, not surprisingly, the overall breakdown fails. We talked about failure yesterday, loving failures, failure patterns, beautiful. We rip up, VWAP starts to hold. We're still not in hypo 2 territory. We're still not holding above 5190s until here. And so it doesn't matter either way. Again, I believe in a lot of randomness, a lot of noise, but using order flow tools to help time the entry, get the best possible entry you can, given the noise, given your context, okay? So it doesn't matter if you get involved here. Perhaps you get scaled out and stopped out. Maybe you don't stop out. Maybe you hang through. Maybe you add more here because it's setting up again. Maybe you didn't take this one. You didn't like something about it. Maybe this one is much better, and so you get involved at this turn. I don't know, but that's not really the point of these videos, is to walk you through precision millisecond to millisecond order flow reading. No, we really focus on context around here, and then we do a good job of timing rotations. Whether that rotation ends up being the one that takes us to the promised land or not, it's really out of our control. Again, time it, do everything you can in your power to focus on process and execute very well, and then let go, guys. That's my advice. So anyways, we get involved either here or both, and then we have our target. Again, hypo 2 targets 5260s, and this was a very weak looking high. You can see it on the profile over here. H, I, J, and ultimately K period as we came back up there, all forming that little poor high right there. And not surprising to see right after the close. This is a new normal for crude oil. Loves to, right after the close, come in and kind of create that excess. For those of you that understand auction market theory, we kind of understand the dynamic that's occurring here. And boom, right into our target area, overshoots it in true crude oil fashion, and then that's pretty much all it needs to do there. So from here, we'll see what happens. So moving on to the S&P. We had a nice 4-day area which kind of went sideways, and then the day before yesterday, we broke up through there convincingly. Value migration higher. That follows through into yesterday, but a very balanced profile with not really good excess on the low. It's not a poor low, but it is what we call a weak low with only one tick of single prints there in C period. So what do? We actually gap down. So it's fine. I thought it would be fine if you thought, with some type of analysis, not just thinking, I hate to even say that word, that we were due for some form of a pullback here. If you wanted to short anywhere in this zone, I thought that was acceptable. Okay, either shorting against a prior value here, which right off the open we blow through, so there's really no trade there, or value here, but by this time we're at a pretty firmly established uptrend, as you can see here. Nice little uptrend. So that wasn't really a great idea either. But now, once we hold above this area here, 2616, you got to be bullish. We're accepting back into this distribution and value. You see eventually D period holding any of these pullbacks here. Once we kind of hold into this area, we're beautiful spots to get long. And what do? We run into our next target area. That's all the market needed to accomplish there. And you see the pretty much fizzle out from there into the close. So some beautiful trading today in both crude oil and the S&P. Nothing terribly easy in crude oil until later in the session. We had, let's call it a losing trade here, potential losing trade here. Let's call it a break-even trade here if you get scaled and then stopped on the remainder. And then a couple opportunities for either scale and scratch here, and then essentially one very clean winner there into the close. So hope that's been helpful. Remember to do everything that is within your control, and then let go of outcomes. It's going to put you in a much stronger position. See you.